right, we're here on the penthouse at 70 Remsen in PHCD. I'm here with Kris. I'm here with our guest of the week, Maddie FORZAG, and we are gonna check out this penthouse. Kris,
Hey.
thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
I will let you take over the tour.
All right, cool. Well, like you said, we're at the penthouse at 70 Remsen in Brooklyn Heights. This is a 1,500 square foot wraparound terrace on top of one of the most iconic buildings in the neighborhood. As you can see from the views, it's pretty incredible.
Before we go inside, we need to just touch on this view. We look this way, we got downtown Brooklyn, we got South Brooklyn, we got the water, we got downtown Manhattan. I gotta see the rest of the view. Kris, let's see it.
Let's take a look. So as you head further on down the terrace, from your master bedroom, you can see all of downtown Manhattan and the water.
And we also have this amazing storage out here.
About 12 feet worth of storage.
12 feet by 4 foot storage.
Yep.
Not common anywhere in New York City. Let's take it inside.
Wow, that was an amazing view. I mean, how awesome was that? It gets even better inside. You got this amazing, beautifully designed by two of the coolest architects I've ever met. So they have this amazing wood burning fireplace inside. You really don't get that kind of stuff here in Brooklyn anymore. And they sort of put their heart and soul into redesigning this apartment. If I was anyone buying this apartment, the kind of cool parties you can have here would really sort of blow everything out of the water.
I mean, instantly, what I'm seeing is just from like being in the dining area, being in the living room, you still have these expansive views. Well, you have them from on the terrace, you're still able to be in your home and still see, I got a bridge over there. You have water in every direction that you look. It's just extremely serene.
We're gonna go take a look at one of the bedroom suites. This way.
I gotta know more about this design.
And you have an amazing amount of closet space here. Everyone goes into new homes and they're like, where do I put all my stuff?
So tell me what they did here.
So they totally customized all of this. Everything they designed and built.
Wait, so I want to backtrack.
Yeah.
Right? So you sold in this home 10 years ago?
Yes, I did.
What was here when you sold it to them? Like
there was not much.
Okay.
It was just a wall.
Oh,
And,
so this
yeah.
was separated. It was an actual bedroom. There was a full wall.
Yeah, there was a full wall across, and they wanted to sort of give it a more open feel. So if you notice, there are times when you want some more privacy.
Well, let's check it out. Let's do it over here so the camera can see. You got to see this.
And you can do it
Yeah,
on both sides.
Let's flip it around and check this out.
So if you want a little bit more privacy, you can do that, which is kind of cool.
How
And you
cool
just
is
fold
this?
it in. So they sort of live here and have it as a nice big open space, custom closets.
Look at this.
I mean, you really can't find this kind of stuff anywhere at all, really. More than enough room for everything you need. His and
Very
hers.
organized too.
His and hers closets, kind of sweet.
It's amazing.
Yeah, now I'm going to show you the first of 2 bathroom suites. Nice big roomy space in here. So let's head on into the kitchen. So we're here in the kitchen, and as we pointed out, we have refrigerator and freezer down below. These guys don't need to have the big fridge because they tend to cook pretty often and cook fresh food. So don't need those big spaces to hold your food and stuff. So you have a nice countertop here. You get more extra countertop space because you don't have a huge fridge.
I love it. This kitchen looks so extremely efficient.
Yep.
And not only that, if you look behind you, like, again, we go back to having this view.
Amazing views. And just like I said, cork floors, pretty cool. Brand new, installed by the owner himself. It's easy and softer on your feet. So when you're cooking, you're not standing on this hard floor, and it's more comfortable. And if you drop something, it'll just bounce back into your hand.
This kitchen is as efficient as it gets. What brands are we working with?
So we got the Fisher Paykel range, we got a Samsung dishwasher, and we got a brand most people may not know of called Marvel to handle the refrigerator and freezer down below.
All right, I love it. Let's keep on moving.
So now we're gonna head over to what most will use as the primary bedroom, the master suite.
You have an entry here and an entry there. This is a combo unit.
Yes, so they combined 2 units many, many moons ago to create this spectacular penthouse.
Got it. So was it this buyer that did the combo?
No, previous buyer did the combo. And once again, you have spectacular views from what most people use as their primary residence, primary bedroom. And there's a really large space. If you want to put a king bed, a desk, it can all fit easily, not a problem. And once again, you have an ensuite bath.
All right, Kris, throughout this entire tour, I keep noticing the floors. They look super dope, unique. What's up?
So the owners, when they came in, they actually hand finished these floors. So my question to them was, what does that mean? Well, normally you bring in these big machines and you sand down everything and you ruin the life of the floors. By hand finishing the floors, they have longer life and they look pretty dope, like our friend Steven, your Sterling's here. What's also kind of cool as we look at the floors is they have these radiators hidden by these metal chains.
All right, we got to check out the crib now. Let's get back to that view.
Beautiful stuff.
All right, we got the tour. Kris, thank you so much for the hospitality.
Thanks for coming, man. This has been awesome.
Much appreciated.
Really appreciate it. Nice.
You can find Kris at Kris Sylvester Real Estate on IG. Matt, you can find at FORZAG on IG. And let me just say, if they don't get this sold, if you don't get this sold by the middle of the summer, I better be invited to a couple of these parties.
You're gonna be invited to parties no matter what, and we're gonna sell it
This
way
better
before
not be
summer.
fake. This better be real.
Better not sell it.
My man. Welcome. This is our first show in Brooklyn Heights. Hopefully our first of many. First and foremost, I want to thank our sponsor for the week, Dr. Balayage. Whether you're in New York City, New Jersey, or Brooklyn, Dr. Balayage is there for all your female beauty needs. And now, let's meet our guests that we already met, but let's reintroduce. I'm here with Matt FORZAG, my dude.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Kris Sylvester.
How you doing, Steven?
Pleasure. Matt, tell us about yourself. And I hate that question because it's a bit loaded. Tell us where you are right now. Who are you? What do you do?
Yep. So, hello, how you doing? My name is Matthew Frizaglia. I'm a fitness professional. I live in Long Island City, New York, but I do my work worldwide. That's the beauty of digital, right? So I have a in-person personal training business, which I've been doing all my life in fitness, coming on 12 years. And the past 6 years, I've been doing digital fitness, whether that's working with brands, creating on-demand and live content, and then my own personal brand, FORZAG Fitness, which you can go to my website, forzagfitness.com, and do on-demand, and then I have live class offerings also.
Wait, so you've been doing digital for 6 years already?
Yeah, if I can do math correctly, the start of 2017, maybe that's 5.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the industry, most people were pivoted into digital because of the pandemic, but you've been doing it since way before that.
Yeah, so actually 2017 I was in the boutique group fitness scene, and I had a opportunity spring up at a gym in New York and in the city here, and the founder was like, "Hey, I want you to just coach CrossFit classes for right now, but this is what we're looking to do."
Oh, right. This is the NeoU story.
Yeah. And that's how I got connected. So NeoU, they put their money on me and bet on me, and I think it worked out.
Is that when NeoU started, 2017?
Yeah, so NeoU, the owners, have owned CrossFit Fifth Avenue and at the time Union Square CrossFit. So they were kind of in the fitness space for maybe 10 years.
Was that was below the Reebok there on the corner?
Yeah. So that was their concept. They opening up a CrossFit box next to a Fit Hub, a Reebok Fit Hub. So they had, you forgot your shoes, your clothes, you can just go upstairs, you get a discount, come back down, work out. Win-win for both of them, right?
Smart.
So they opened up a digital space. They created their own app, and that's kind of where I got my foot in the door. And in the beginning, I don't know why they ever trusted me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. NeoU has pretty extensive, or well, at the time, pretty extensive production studio. They have 2 separate gyms. I don't know if both of them did, but I know one of them had a camera on a wire, had another camera, and they had just like a whole massive production studio in this fitness facility.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it started off with 3 studios, and then I guess at that time realized it was a lot to be running 3 studios at one time. Because then you got to think on the back end, the cameras, the production crew, the audio, you have sound, light, the whole 9.
The editing.
Yeah, for 3 different studios and filming all that content. So they broke it down to 2, and they had one studio where they would shoot like fitness, Pilates, yoga, and then the other would be like dance and Zumba or that type of moving around workout, aerobics. But it was my first step into digital fitness, and at the time they were a startup, and there were a handful of employees working there, and I was their one instructor in front of the camera. So I actually was very grateful to be one of those first people in there, with zero experience on camera, to being thrown into the fire and figuring it out. I learned not only a lot on the front end on being on camera, but the back end with lighting, the editing, the sound, all that. Like there's a lot.
So you were able to learn about the whole production part of
and at that time when I came in, there was 5 employees at the company. So I was able to I was doing a bunch of stuff just helping out. And at that time I was like, well, this seems really cool. I need to learn more about this, right? Like this may be useful one day. So that's why I got into digital fitness, because it was more like a side thing in my back pocket, just in case if ever needed, something would happen.
If there's like a pandemic.
Yeah, and everything shuts down for a few years and you have to work at home and you're not able to access the amazing studios you wanted when you can just walk down the street, So fast forward 2020, it worked out for me. I was ready, I think it was like the second week of March, the pandemic happened and everything closed. And the first thing I thought was, well, let me turn on Instagram Live. Let's get this thing going. No one was doing it because everyone's like, what do we do? I can't train my clients. I go in the park. So I turned Instagram Live on, and it just happened. I reached out to all these brands on Instagram, like before they were even doing lives. I was like, let me just pitch all these people. So the brands were like, no, we're not doing that. Other brands were like, yeah, we're doing that. Let's do it. And then the ones that said, no, we're not doing it, weeks later, guess who was asking me?
They were.
It worked out. So it was really cool.
So when you're saying you reached out to brands, like you're saying you would go on, brand A, brand B's IG and do a IG live workout from connected on their page.
Yeah. So I would pitch it, hey, obviously we can't go to the gym. I've been doing this. This is what I'm thinking of doing. This is how it fits in with me and your brand. And I think it would be a huge asset. And, they're like, cool. They send you over the password, the username, you log in, do your thing, post it from their account, and then move on. That was it.
What were you charging at the time for something like this?
At the time, nothing. I would just do it for free. And you gotta, now I would never, depending on the situation.
Well, if doing it for free, were you doing it mainly to just keep your clientele, gain clientele, brand recognition?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming you're reaching out to like real brands. Like I know you work with Aloe now. So would you reach out to a brand like Aloe and say, hey, I want to do this for free?
So in the beginning, I reached out to any and every brand, fitness related or in the health and wellness space you could ever think of. And I'll reach out to 100 companies and see which ones hit me back.
What was the most obscure company you did this with?
I think so.
I'm instantly thinking like, oh, would you reach out to like a jockstrap company?
No. I did like a lot of like your typical like Nike, Reebok, those big name brands, and then some underlying brands like clothing brands, shoe companies, and then some things that are outside of fitness that I reached out to because. So like a month or two later of the pandemic, I started 15-minute abs, FORZAG Fitness, 15-minute abs, and immediately stimulates everyone's brain. They're like 15-minute abs, I'm in. In my mind, it was a promotional stunt, right? It's a marketing stunt for me. I'm creating this word. I'm creating this cool hype, 12 o'clock every day. You can tune in. Friends, people are gathering together now, so people are inviting people.
So this is some Instagram Live.
This is all Instagram Live.
So my wife did this.
Wow.
My wife we got married July 20th, 2025, middle of the pandemic. And for 2 months, 3 months leading up, her and her friends every day would do 15-minute abs. And
So did it work?
Oh, it worked. She was in fantastic shape. She did the 15-minute abs every day, and then Kamikaze Fridays.
Kamikaze Fridays.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's Kamikaze Fridays?
You want to get down? We'll do it right now.
Oh, no.
So yeah, it was actually, so it's funny, right? People were seeing these drastic changes. Why? Because they were sitting at home all day. So they hear 15-minute abs, like, oh, I need to ab workout. I need to get abs. Well, that was the most irrelevant part of the whole thing. The whole focus about it was, I'm going to get you moving for 15 minutes every day at an intensity you probably are not doing on your own. So once we started, we nonstop moved for 15 minutes. People would be soaking wet, heart rate up. And it was like, we just did ab movements. And then I was like, all right, you can only do so many ab movements. Let's just make this a full body workout and then call it an ab workout. So there's a lot of stability and control, focused movements that really hit the core. But in reality, we're doing full body workouts and tricking these people. And my thing as a trainer is, everyone wants something, but they don't realize what they need until they come to the trainer. And the trainer does an assessment. They go over how you move, how your mobility, etc. They don't know what they need. They just know what they want. And what you want most of the time is not going to help you. What you want, everyone wants that end result, but no one wants to do what they need to do to get there. So what my thing was, well, I know all these people, majority of people, rounded shoulders, tight hips, this and that. I was incorporating these things into my workouts, and all of a sudden people are feeling better. People are seeing results, and it's like, wow.
Right. So when you say you're tricking people,
Right.
Tricking has a negative connotation.
A dirty
on it.
connotation.
Yeah, you were tricking them in a positive way. Yeah, you were disguising what they needed in a more digestible way so that they would think that they're only doing this for this immediate result when you were in fact tricking them to do a full body workout.
Well, and that's the cool thing about it, right? It's the, oh man, I just lost my train of thought.
Abs, shoulders,
something about abs,
Knees
legs,
and toes.
I don't
workout,
know where it went. It just went away.
tricking people.
Tricking people in a positive way is the key. No, I forgot.
Training.
It was to piggyback that. Oh man,
You did this to achieve. You did X to achieve Y.
So back to the main point of this, I did this to grow my brand recognition, my awareness at the time, because how are you going to continue your business and it's in person and continue to grow, but now they're taking the in person out. So how do you create growth in a company, in your business, your brand, if you can't do the daily tasks that are helping you grow, which would in personal training would be in front of the person. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, all right. So
Lightning. Or not lightning. Bulb.
Bing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing is oh no, I lost it again.
I knew what started.
Like, flip it this way. Yeah.
Oh, right. So it's giving the people what, well, now we're going to jump back to this, but it's giving the people what they want and need at the same time, right? But at a level of which they understand.
Got it.
And my biggest thing, I've been in fitness coming on to 12 years, and I'm from the era, like way different than the era now. So yes, business is huge. Meaning, so yeah, that's a good point. So I came in before social media, before, followers and everything. Walked in the gym, and two people walk in the gym, they're the same person. Nothing's different about them, which should be like it is now. But now it's like, he's got 100,000 followers, he only has 4. Like, then these people are different all of a sudden, right? At that time, it was like you had to learn, you had to follow, you needed a mentor, someone to guide you around, to teach you these things. And
Well, let's just touch, which is crazy. Let's touch on that we live in a world where that's real.
it's real.
That's real. Two identical people could walk into a room, but if this person has 150,000 followers, this person has 1,200, and I even say like 1,200 versus like 5 followers, because 5 followers, like, it's like almost like it's something's up. But 1,200's like, oh well, they're a nobody. 150 could be identical people. That person is somebody. That person has clout. What's up with that?
Well, and in my eyes, when I look at someone with 150,000 followers, I know one thing. I want them to collaborate on a piece of content with me because it's going to expose me to their people. It's going to make my reach bigger. But who am I going to go to for the knowledge? Who am I going to go to for the science, the things that work and I know I can trust? Probably that guy with 12,000 followers. Why? Because he's not here flashing his Instagram showing, oh, look at me, look at me. He's more like, I'm content, I'm humble, I understand what I'm doing, and my people are happy. My clients are working, they're seeing results, and these people are benefiting. People 150,000, they probably have no idea who was buying their product. They have no idea who's signing up,
How does someone get to 150, 250, a million followers? Like, how does that happen? Is collaboration or?
Well, now it's more about what's your right? What's cool? What do people vibe with? What are their interests? And it's how do we, and I think I was talking to a trainer, she's 2 years into fitness, and I kept asking her, what's your brand? What's your brand? She's like, oh, I teach fitness classes. Oh, this is my, I said, no, that's not your brand. I was like, what are you selling? What are you doing? She's like, oh, fitness. And I was like, everyone's selling fitness. I was like, who's your clientele? Who are the people you're targeting?
Right. What are your ingredients?
Yeah. What's a niche,
Not,
right?
Yeah. Now it's on the label. It's what's inside the box.
Exactly. Right. The label could say fitness, but you break it down more. It's
you can use that, by the way.
What?
You can use that one, by the way.
All right, I'm taking that. But yeah, it's really knowing your audience and then how to pivot your product to them. And a lot of people don't understand that or get that. But that's something I feel like now it's more comprehensible because your Instagram is basically, the amount of followers you have is basically telling, okay, I'm posting stuff that these people like, they're going to keep coming back. But before that, it was like learning that without the social media. So how do you get people in a room? By word of mouth or guerrilla marketing,
So what do you think is your niche? What is your claim to fame, so to speak?
Yeah, one day.
That's a good question.
It is. And it's funny, I was talking to a mentor yesterday and he was like, what exactly is your mission? If you were to write down one line, what is your mission?
I feel like, what is your mission, Matthew?
And I was like, wow, I've had a goal in mind. I've always had a mission, and my goal is to make you functionally stronger while alleviating pain. So what does that mean? I want you to move freely without feeling any aches and pains, but I want you to be strong enough to do whatever you want, right? Ideally, walk around and feel good. That's the human body, right? And more people are focused on the look versus the feel. The look will come as you start to feel. Mm-hmm. And people have that reverse. I'm not looking some way. Then mentally, it's a negative thought. Well, then, you're not going to feel good either.
Right, especially if they don't get it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Right. And that's so my mentor sent me down and he was like, what's the deal, dude? Like, what are you doing? And it made me, I've always been in fitness. I've always had my personal clients. And then I really came around. And I think what my, kind of shine was digital fitness. I was one of the first people in the scene here in New York City doing that.
To embrace it.
I was already reaching out globally from using NeoU. We partnered and they were able to project me. So I was starting to get this look from other people outside of New York, and it was like, wow, this is really cool. So this strength hit style endurance workout, I like to stamp myself with, it's more of an endurance based. We're focusing on strength, functional strength. That's going to get you through life, allow you to do things when you're older, allow you to, go up and down the stairs 20 more times and not be completely dead. Stuff like that. It's relatable to life. And that's all I'm looking to do is get you to move functionally and strong enough for you to be able to continue living your life the way you want versus you deadlifting 500 pounds. Great, you can deadlift 500 pounds. That's strong. But what is that going to do when it comes time to run after your kid?
Right.
Right. 500 pounds is not building conditioning. Yeah, function.
Endurance. Nope,
aerobically,
you want to have that. Yep.
Not that long-going movement. So I like to say that's kind of me. But with that, I'm kind of like a generalist. And now there's a lot of frown upon a generalist because it's like, oh, you don't know what your audience is. You don't know who it is. You're just kind of out there. Well, no, because there's so many people out there. And I'm throwing out a more generalized style.
So many
fitness.
people in terms of so many
consumers.
Got it. So not so many different types of trainers, but there are.
Yeah.
You're saying so many different types of consumers, so many different clients, where being able to actually take all these clients and figure out what is the overlying theme that I could stick with all of them, and it's functionality within life.
Right. And, people come to me and they're like, oh, well, I'm looking to do this. I'm looking to do that. I said, great. I have clients of all different ages, all different goals, completely different goals.
Oldest client, youngest client.
Youngest now is 25. Oldest, 65.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've trained people in their 80s. I've trained people in their 20s. The whole nine.
Do you deal with teens at all?
So I used to do a lot of teens and kids, and earlier on in my career, I was like, I'll take on anyone, right? I need that experience. So I was training anyone's kid, anyone's teen, whatever. Then it got to a point where I was like, I think I'm babysitting. This is a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let me redefine my focus. Who am I looking to train?
Right.
Who's my clientele? I'm open to training teens that are sports specific, because to me, I know mentally they're fighting or they're willing to put in the work.
Right.
Versus,
a parent saying, go work out with
go
Matt.
work out, and you're occupying them for 45 minutes and you're like, oh my God, that's why I'm not having kids.
It's functional babysitting.
But and they're getting their energy out. They're moving. They're having fun. That's all that matters, right? Their parents are happy. The kid is going. I guess at a certain point you realize what you're doing, what you're trying to do. But in the beginning, I was training everything and anyone under the sun. Like, you were interested in something, at 15 minutes, let's go. Do this for free. 30 minutes. When I worked in New York Sports Club, when I started, I stood at the door and everyone that walked in said, hey, I'm Matt, I'm a trainer here. Would you like a 15-minute personal training session for free? No, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Okay. Next person. All of a sudden, one person said yes. 2 people said yes. 3 people. Now you're coming in. It's like putting your hand in a bag and whatever comes out. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn. And it goes right back to the difference of when I came into fitness and it is now. Now people come to you and be like, oh, I heard you're a great trainer, yada, yada, yada. There's no more like you going out and figuring out.
They're coming to you.
It's coming to you. But I think that's great because, and I don't want to, I like to say I'm a very humble person when it comes to what I do. I'm not the one to be like, oh, I just did this, blah, throw it in people. No, I'm very quiet and calm about it. But now, like, I think I've put my time into where I can choose who I train, and like not coming off like, oh, I don't want to train you or you, like I'm going to train. No, not like that at all. But like,
All right, but you've put in the time.
You've figured out what you are looking to do, who you're looking to do it with, and you can choose those people. Who's really there to work out? Who's just there?
Right, because end of the day, where Kris and I, we get a property and we're asked to sell it. Mm-hmm. We get a property, we're asked to rent it. We have a client who wants something. We could have 10 properties and we could add another 5 properties. You can't add another hour into your day. You only have 24 hours.
Right.
So that's why you're able to more so say, I can't work with you because it doesn't fit into my time, and you don't fit into the type of person that I now train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like we have a very similar job, right? We take someone on a journey, and you paint this picture, and you give them the tools and the skills they need in order to get to that picture that we
achieve
painted,
that goal,
right?
yeah.
Achieve the goal, right? And at the end of the day, I'm happy because that person had lower back pain. They couldn't stand up for more than 5 minutes. Now they're standing up, running around for 25 minutes.
Right.
This person's looking for a home. They wanted a view. They wanted a beautiful spot to live and grow their family. You showed up and you're like, listen, this is what I have. Check it out. And you show them everything and you give them. And at the end, it's like the client's happy, but we're happy. We're fulfilled because that person is fulfilled.
Right. In a sense, we're guiding them. You're guiding them. We're guiding them. Someone might think they know what they want. In your sense, they might think they know what they're doing, mm-hmm. but then you're able to show them a better way of doing it. We're able to show them maybe a neighborhood they might not have been privy to off the bat, and essentially, we get to help people, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's how I came in. When I graduated college, I went in under a sports and recreation management.
And where's your major. So now this is what 2004?
Going into college 2007.
Going into college. All right, so going into college 2007. What'd you go to college for?
So
and where'd you go?
At first, I went in for graphic design. Then realized sitting down for that long staring at a screen was not in my
How
competency.
how fit were you at this time?
This time I was nowhere near where I am
How
now.
fit were you at this time?
I played. Let's just say a kid going into college. You know, I had youth on my side, so I was able.
Were
to
you an
bounce
athlete in high
back.
school?
Yeah. So I've played ice hockey since I was 5 years old till today.
Early mornings.
Loved it. I lived at the ice rink before school. Went to school. Went back to the ice rink. My hockey career has been really cool because my dad coached me and my brother early on, and my brother's 2 years older than me. So for my dad, it was easier just to lie about my age and put me with the older kids. So I was always a kid getting beat around.
Which is much better for production.
Exactly, because now I'm extremely grateful, right? The work ethic, challenge. A lot of people are like, this is something that's like average baseline challenging, no matter what situation it is. I want more, you know? And I think that has helped me not become satisfied on certain things, because it's always like, all right, I was able to achieve this. I think we can achieve more. I think we can push over the edge, like, because that's what I was doing, you know? My good enough wasn't good enough for the older kids because they were way beyond me. So I had to go above and beyond, over the top, just to fulfill their average level.
So it made you better.
Yeah, it made me better. It made me adapt and develop, realizing, okay, if this isn't working, I got to think on my toes real fast on how to make it work, how to become better.
And I know that this definitely played a big role in your transition into going from graphic design to whatever we'll get to what you did after that. Because I know a lot of companies, they like to hire athletes. A lot of companies like to hire people who have played team sports because they have that drive and they want
And the work ethic.
They have the work ethic. They want to practice. They want to get better. All right, we going for graphic design. Where'd you go to school again?
Franklin Pierce University, Southern New
Let's
Hampshire.
show. I was gonna say let's show a map right here with a dot.
It's basically in northern Massachusetts.
Okay.
Like that's how southern it is. Yeah.
How'd you end up there?
So I had a friend, one of my best friends in high school, was a year older than me, and he went. And I applied to all these schools, and for some reason that one, I don't know, it was the most expensive, but they were giving me the most money.
Okay.
So it was like an easy win-win.
Did you play hockey in college?
So I went there, met the hockey coach, showed up, was supposed to play, and walked into the meeting, and sitting down listening to everyone before the meeting started, it was like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from here in Mass. Oh, I'm from here in Rhode Island. Oh, and then they started going, oh, I did this, I'm that. Oh, I was this, I was that. And it was just me. I'm. In high school, I did this. And I said, something at that moment just rubbed me the wrong way. And I said, I can't play with people that are just so me. Like, we're showing up to go forward on something together, and you guys are all talking in the past about yourself. Like, that's cool. We can talk about that later on, but let's get excited for moving forward.
Yeah, I call people like that me monsters.
Yeah, me 100%.
Me
A room full of me monsters.
Me monsters.
And I just couldn't do that. So I stood up and I left, and the coach was like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I was like, I can't play with these kids. Like, I just
Now,
can't.
how did you react to that?
Everyone was like, oh, you're cool. I was like, yeah, I'm cool, man. Like, no one liked it. Everyone looked at me like, oh, this dude's better than us. He's too good for us, you know? Because I stood up. They're all in the same mind. Oh, I was MVP. Oh, I was all state. And I was just like, okay, nah.
You're like, my team did this.
My team, like, yeah, like I played for some really impressive teams in these leagues, and you know, they were like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, just saying that I played at West Point Military Academy, that's pretty cool. You know, you're playing with the cadets, like that's some really good hockey. And they were just like, "Yeah, I was MVP in my high school." I was like, in your what high school do you go to?
Right.
Some fairy tale land? Like, but anyway, so yeah, the next day I called my mom. I said, Ma, you're gonna have to send up my lacrosse equipment. I'm gonna try out for the lacrosse team.
Was she like, Matthew, you're quitting?
She was like, what are you doing? I was like, just transitioning sports. And I played lacrosse in middle school and high school, so it wasn't like it was foreign. Me and my brother, we started playing lacrosse because in the summer we say, oh, well, it's just hockey in the air. So it was a good way to keep, your eye-hand coordination, your conditioning.
Good practice.
Yeah. So that's really why we started playing lacrosse. We were just tired of playing street hockey and rollerblading. We were like, well, I just want to be on the ice.
Right.
So we said, you know what, let's just switch up the sport that's very similar. We did that. I played the next, I went to the tryout that week and walked on. And honestly, we weren't the best lacrosse team at the time, but we used to always say we show up for each other more than to play lacrosse, which was really cool because those are my friends still to today.
Wow.
So I'm very glad I did that. Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. So let's see. So you went into college for graphic design.
So
how did we become FORZAG Fitness?
Yeah, I transitioned to sports and recreation management, and I just figured something on the professional and recreation side, a sport I could do because that's my interest, right? The things I've done all my life. So I was actually doing a lot of recreation therapy, and we would go to School of Blind, School of the Deaf, and work with these people. And I was like, wow, I can get these people to do things and they can't see me or hear me. And they're excited. They're happy. We're going to the basketball games, and like a deaf basketball game is so cool. Like everyone cheers and they put their hands up. It's silent. You hear the ball bouncing. You hear people breathing, but you don't hear like, hey, pass. Like it's all hand gesture. And so it's a very cool experience. And I was like, wait, this is so cool.
It sounds very surreal.
It was mind blowing. And at that age, taking everything for granted, running around on a college campus, that showed me like we were just saying, like fulfilling someone else's needs to make them feel successful is like, that's when I felt, wow, I was able to get someone that couldn't hear me do something and they were excited and happy about it afterwards. I was like, okay, I've been training people on my lacrosse team. I've been training other kids in school. I'm good at training. People are seeing benefits from it. But like, I don't know if this is like a career. And at that time, people were like, why don't you get a real job? Get a real job. Get a real job. And that's all I heard. So I was like, oh, I can't do that for a job.
Those people.
Like, 100%. Still here till this day. Those same people saying get a real job are like, Matt, congratulations. I opened up Men's Health. Wow. So at that time you told me healthcare and benefits and all that, or you get a real job. I said, I got all that and a job that's going to help you. So let's sign up,
Yeah.
But yeah, it opened my eyes. All that opened my eyes to showing me that like fulfilling someone else fulfills me. So I got right into personal training, and that's how I met my mentor in New York Sports Club, and kind of just threw me into the fire. And that's where.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What part does nutrition play in your fitness regimen?
Yeah, so fitness is like the easier part of the whole equation. Now, to me, it all sounds very easy because I understand.
You live and breathe it too.
But other people, so you're like, dude, that's like, I don't know, a crazy equation that no one can ever understand. And it honestly, every equation is different, right? So fitness and nutrition for everyone looks different. And I don't focus mainly on nutrition. Legally, you cannot give nutritional advice, or you can give advice, but you can't like tell people what to eat and what to do unless you're a dietitian,
licensed and all that stuff.
Registered. So I guide my clients, say, eat this, understand how you feel. I give them tools to understanding how to eat and what to eat versus telling them, don't eat that. Eat this on this meal, have this and that. Because technically you can't, right? But who's counting? But it's really guiding the people, and it goes right back to like my focus is I'm not telling you what to do. I don't care what you do. I care that you're understanding what you're doing and how it's affecting you, and taking the information and
so they
applying
can make
it to
the
your next
decision.
day,
Yeah,
right. And I think that's the biggest thing is like the more tools I can give you, the less you need me. And overall, that's the goal. Is if I have a client, they come to me, I want them to learn. I want them to understand and take the information I'm giving them. So one day they're like, Matt, I don't even need you anymore. I can go on my own. I'm like, yes and no. Yes, like finally you've got it. No, as in like, no, we're breaking up.
right.
But that's a very proud and like successful moment when your client is confident enough to say, I've listened and I've learned all these months and years and weeks. I can do this by myself now. Thank you. And they go on and continue their journey, and that's a small percentage of people. A lot of people tell me, oh, I just want to do 3 sessions 6 months, 8 months, a year later, they're still training week after week.
So you're saying that you're not supposed to be giving what type of advice? Nutritional, if you're not certified nutrition.
Writing meal plans, and I mean, people do it all the time.
Have you, and I want to piggyback off of this question as well, have you gotten in trouble ever for doing anything of that sort?
No.
So no. Has there what kind of friction have you had working at New York Sports Club, NEOU, working with some of the big brands that you have? What type of issues have you had bumping heads with people? And when has something become like a massive issue?
I wouldn't say I've had any massive issues. There's more of bumping heads with people, and that's, it's cool in New York Sports Club. You're kind of your own. I mean, you report to a fitness manager, but you do your own thing. So whatever you believe in is what you're going to preach to your clients. And every trainer, it's like everyone's individual. It's more of when you're in a group fitness. So I worked in boutique fitness here in the city, and you come to your meetings, and now it's everyone having to, we're teaching the same product, we're teaching the same place. So now it's everyone has to put their ideas together into this vacuum, basically this bucket, and it's like, you may think one way on something, I think the other way, but we need to come to terms on delivering the product this way.
Right, but with this, you're dealing with a room full of alphas. Mm-hmm. So the amount of people that's saying we need to do it this way, if 6 people are saying we need to do it this way, and they're not all going in the same direction, it sounds like there's going to be
there's
some friction.
An issue, some friction.
There's a lot of trainers in the city that there's my way or the highway. Whether their way is right or not, that's what they believe.
I know a fair amount. I don't like to say fair amount.
Yeah, I don't like to talk heat, but I'm just saying, like, there's a fair amount of people. Fair amount of people that will hear. Like, I'm a person that I have my ways, and I know what works and what doesn't work, and why I choose certain things and don't choose certain things. And then there's you may come along and you're like, no, the only way to do that is this way. You're like, okay, I can see where you're coming from, but depending on our clientele and what we're looking to do, does it make sense for us to do it that way? It makes more sense this way. And it's kind of finding the middle ground or the balance, or taking a little bit of you, taking a little bit of me, and putting it together. And then now everyone's calm about it.
Right.
Yeah, we've been in a lot of meetings where it's just, it could be an hour meeting and it's 2 hours because everyone's just arguing. And it's like, all right, pull it back. Let's settle down. Like, everyone needs to understand why. Tell me why you chose that exercise and what it's supposed to produce, and then I'm going to tell you why I chose this and what it's supposed to produce. And now, if we come to the same term of agreement, then okay, well, when is it appropriate to do this exercise? When is it appropriate to do that exercise?
Which is crazy because it's not like politics where people gotta have different viewpoints, and now they're arguing, and at no point in that type of discussion are they going to be like, is one side going to say, well, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Well, I never thought of it like that. Like, that's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. But with this, you actually have you have a quantitative idea as to why this should be this way, and you could completely explain it. And there's an end result from the explanation. So for someone to not be able to agree with one side or the other or blend it blows my mind.
And I think that's the separating line of trainers, right? You could be the smartest, have all the schooling whatsoever, but you can't take that information and apply it to the audience or what you're doing. And then that kind of pushes you outside a little bit. Yeah, you're smart. That's great. We'd love to have you on our team because you know a lot and you're useful, but you don't have that meshing mind in the sense of, well, take what you have and take what they have, understand why they're saying that, and then find a solution for it. I feel like it's this road or that road, no in between. And I saw that early on, and I said, I don't want to be this way. It's only this way. Say, hey, if that's what you think's going to work and you believe that's the way, do it. If not, or you do and it doesn't work, I'm over here. I'm a resource. Talk to me about it. Maybe we can find out something that does work. I've always felt like I'm not going to be the one. Like, I know when I'm right and what works, like everyone does, right? You've done it before. You know it works. It's going to happen. You're going to speak on it. I'm not going to be the first one to be like, no, that's terrible. I say, wow, that's a great point. How can we make it better? How can we add to it? well, let's just add some of my spice onto yours. And then boom. I think that's, and it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. It's, if you're confrontational and your way is the only way, good luck. You're gonna be by yourself.
And it won't work.
You think it's similar with what we do?
A little bit.
Yeah. Would you say you're a solopreneur? Like you work solo or more in a team?
Yeah, I'm solo, and honestly, I had this talk with my mentor yesterday, and like, it's cool being by yourself. You can create what you want. You can build what you want. It's yours. But at the end of the day, you're by yourself doing all this, you know? And it's nice to have a teammate. And I'm used to being on a team all my life, being able to talk with people.
Because of sports, right?
Because of sports, yeah, exactly. And, you know, even like talking about plays, like people are like, oh, like a sports team, you guys just play. But yeah, there's a lot of plays behind just playing, right? Mm-hmm. Understanding, okay, listen, last time you crossed in front, it didn't make sense. Come cut around the back and I'll cut around the side. So now you're an open look when no one's looking at you. But from my view, you're wide open.
So if you thought to so your mentor, is he about, was in his previous, where am I trying to say? What's his background? Was he a boxer? Was he a team sport player?
He was actually a teacher.
He was a teacher.
And then he came into fitness, and he's been in fitness, I don't even know.
How did you meet your mentor?
So it's funny. So back in 2013, Reebok had this competition called the Face of Reebok One. And essentially they would pick a trainer and then narrow it down, and then, you know, boom, you're the face. And you basically did all their promotional and stuff. Wow. Like you were the face of them, right? Like they're off brand. And so I applied for it, and I happened to know this woman that worked for Reebok. And I said, hey, get me in there, bump me up. Like, what are we going to do here? And she was like, I'm going to see what I can do. Weeks later, I made it into the top 12. I was like, oh my God. And he happened to be an ambassador at the time. So I reached out to all the Reebok ambassadors and I said, hey, do you mind posting this on your social? Like, I want to win. Like, please help me. So I reached out to all these people. I reached out to people that worked for Reebok, like, and this is what blows my mind, is because when I tell like other trainers this, they're like, wait, you reached out to who? Like, I don't know if you guys know who Mark Bell is. Mark Bell created a product called the Slingshot, and he's huge in the powerlifting world.
Okay.
And at the time, he was just a dude with an invention, world-renowned powerlifter. And I said, you know what? Let me just send this guy an email, thinking, oh, this guy's going to open my email. So I sent an email, nothing. Sent an email, nothing. I said, I need to get my image on his page because he's a huge following. This could really make me win. Nothing. So in the subject, I wrote, fuck you. And he opened it, replied back to me and was like, hey man, thank you, like, for reaching out. Like, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like, but it caught your attention. And he was like, I would love to help you, but since I'm part of the brand, I can't.
Right.
They told us not to. And I was like, oh. But I went to that extent.
Like, bro, you couldn't have let me know before I had to tell you to fuck off.
I sent you how many emails?
Yeah.
But it was so cool because we actually found out that my football coach is his cousin. So we were way connected way before that. But anyway, it was like going that extent, reaching out to all these people and putting yourself out there. So anyway, he was one of the ambassadors at the time, and message him. He was like, respond, whatever, nothing. I moved to New York. I'm randomly walking down some street in Tribeca, and I pass this dude, and I stop. And I go, hey. And I scream his name, and he turns around. He's like, yeah, what's up? I said, no way am I meeting you right now. And he's like, what? I was like, I'm Matt Versaglia, didn't I? He was like, oh, yeah, I've seen you. And I was like, you have? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, my God. And again, at the time, he's just like a little dude that was just an ambassador. But he's been in this industry for a long time, and there's like a handful of people that have been in the field for a long time, and those are the people I go to the most because they're the ones that they saw where the fitness trend is, where it's going, what's going to happen. Like, they've been there. So it's like I don't go to any, like, there's a lot of younger people that know a lot, but when I need something to like concrete answers, they're the ones.
Where do you see the fitness industry going?
Yeah.
Especially with what's happened during the pandemic, or the changes that you experienced during the pandemic. Where do you see it in the next couple of years to 5 years?
Yeah, right now it's crazy because what the pandemic has done has opened up markets that people didn't realize or
Existed,
really
right.
knew, or existed, right? So before digital, there was digital this whole time, Peloton,
Yeah.
but no one ever gave them a look because who would do that? I can just go to the gym, you
Right.
know? Everyone outside of New York City made sense.
Yeah, and Peloton exploded during the pandemic, and then now it's not so popular
Yeah,
anymore.
now who knows what's going on. I did a class the other day, and man, I love it. I love going on a spin bike every now and then. But anyway, yeah, so it was now it's almost like who knows, you know, it was very group fitness, personal training heavy before the pandemic, and now, especially in New York City, but now it's people, I feel digital has dispersed this whole scene, right? So the group fitness scene, there's people that did group fitness, came back to group fitness. A lot of those people don't even do fitness in person anymore. There's half that clientele went somewhere else. I noticed a lot of people that were doing group fitness, diehard group fitness people, switched to virtual, and now they're only doing personal training, right? So what I've seen a lot of success with in here in the city since we've been back is the personal training and the small group, the private group, semi-private.
The communities.
The
So basically
communities.
being able to build your own community.
Yeah, and that's where it's kind of at now, right? It's the market is, there's so many different pools in the market now, and I think it just opened up to people seeing that there's more options depending on, you know, their lifestyle, the time they have, you know, what they're looking for. I wouldn't say there's one specific thing. It's not going to go back to just personal training, or it's just going to go back to group fitness the way it did. I think the group fitness boom happened through 2016, 17, 18,
Yep.
and then kind of fell off, and it's still there, but it's not going to be the heightened state ever was. I think now what this pandemic has shown is every person is their own brand, is their own digital product, and it's what you're creating is now what people are doing, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I go to my friends' classes, but I still go to a studio from time to time. So I wouldn't say it's going one way or another. It's almost opened up more pathways, and it's just what do people want? And it's that efficiency and the direct. I want to know that I can get a good workout in 30 minutes, whether I go to the process of leaving my house and go to the gym, or just turning my TV on and doing something with you.
Right, but turning it on in sense of like on demand, but also appointment workouts that are digital, and with the amount of content creators that have now shown up into the industry, it's more of a small group of people in their specifically curated dose of fitness. If that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah. So like with the amount of content creators really having, so like Peloton created this massive community.
Yeah.
But now let's call it 100 people in this Peloton community. They've now lost segments of their community to other styles of fitness that these people have now been exposed to, and they like that better.
Right.
And they like that better. They still have their community, but as we see, their market share just got smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it's all relevant to the person now, right? Like you'd go, oh, this is the best studio, this is the best place to work out. The best place to work out could be in your living room now because you like the way I coach,
Yeah.
the way I cue.
They want to reach you and you only.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's no longer like, oh, I don't want to go there because so and so is going there. It's like, this person does it just right for me. They connect with me. I feel like I'm with them. They make me feel like I'm someone in the room. Like, you know. So it's really comes down to what you like and what you're planning on. What works for you, I'd say.
All right, good stuff. Before we let you go, is there anything you're reading right now? Like, what are you reading right now? And give me a book that you could recommend to everybody.
So right now I'm actually not reading anything. I just finished a book. What is the name of it? That's a good start, right? What is the name of it? It's a yellow cover. I don't remember the name.
That narrows it down.
Something. Damn, this is not good. It's not a good
Eight
look.
Habits of.
It's
Never Split the Difference.
no, I forget.
I'm thinking
the
of
name.
yellow covers.
The name is something badass.
I think it's just called Badass. It just literally says Badass on the cover.
Yeah, it's yellow and white.
Yep. What is it? You Are a Badass. Is that it?
I don't feel like a badass for getting the title of a book that I've been reading.
No, that's like the same thing. Like I'll be like watching a show and we'll be 5 episodes, 6 episodes in, and it'll be like the main character's wife who's in every episode.
And you can't remember the name.
I'm like, Weebay's wife. I don't know Weebay's wife's name, but she's like in every episode.
No, it definitely is You Are a Badass.
It's You Are a Badass.
And it's really cool because it gives you self-confidence, but it also helps share like different ways of looking at things. Also, another book I just read was Jocko Willing. It's pretty intense, but extreme ownership. And it's kind of more about life.
Taking
Extreme ownership over your situations and you as a human, right? It's going to be easy to tell somebody, oh, that didn't work out because so-and-so didn't do this. Well, you were the head man as to why,
right.
People in the room were doing what they're doing. So let's go back to the root of why so-and-so didn't do what they did. Why didn't they do? Well, the direction was off. And it's understanding that, okay, someone down the chain may have messed up, but I'm the root. Therefore, I need to take responsibility over it and be humble about it. Don't, oh my God, it wasn't me, point fingers and blame. No. This is the problem. This is how I fix it. This is how we're going to go about it.
Nice.
And that could apply to anything in life. I think that was the most like hard hitting book I've read recently. That every situation I walk into, understanding, being present, being curious, walking in there and just being open to whatever comes your way and then reacting as that goes.
And taking ownership for it.
Yeah, and just really owning what you do, and that confidence will come off no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of people like to deflect when there's an issue with something. And I'm a very big advocate of, if you're the boss, anything that happens is your fault. Anything that happens is your fault.
Right.
Like, no questions asked. I don't care if you didn't even talk to that person that day. If it's someone that works at your company, if they spoke to someone wrong on the phone, it's because you didn't train them to speak to someone properly. And maybe it was their parents that raised them, but now they're not their parents' employee. They're your employee now. So there needs to be a certain way that things are done with under your watch, no matter what, whether you're there or not.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And I used to be a person and be like, oh, it didn't work because so-and-so missed the mark on this. And now I will never point my finger at someone again, unless it actually is their problem.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if the direction's coming from your mouth and you're the lead, you better become prepared. You better set the people up for success that are around you.
That's great advice.
My
what
dude.
it comes down to.
FORZAG, thank you.
Thank you.
Chris,
Nice.
thank you, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Kris Sylvester, Matt FORZAG. Again, I want to thank our sponsor, Dr. Balayage. Again, we're here in Brooklyn Heights. See you later.